I'm sure we'll find out. There's some
What about that? Pretty good match. Like over 100,000. Close to it.
She can tell you, but state mandates, county, mayor, the state mandates their salaries and how much raise they're going to get. It's no decision
all
that
population.
Exactly.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, but they don't want to get
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Commissioner. Yeah.
I thought so.
Okay, Mount Carmel Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting, April 24, 2018, 6:30 p.m. Is now in session. Ask everyone to rise. Recognize a friend and our sheriff, and running unopposed this year, so he will be our sheriff again.
Yes, sir.
Sheriff Ronnie Lawson will be giving the invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we just come to you in the precious name of Jesus, Lord. Just thank you for our many blessings. God, we know you're in control of this world, this United States, and this county, and these cities. I ask you, Lord, just to continue to bless us. We know the good outweighs the bad. We just have to deal with the bad. I ask you, Lord, just to watch over us as we go along. Help us, Father, to always be found looking to you in all things. I ask you, Lord, just watch over each city we have in this county and our county. I ask you, Lord, to bless us and watch over us. Forgive us where you failed you. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
And Mr. Garrett White, retired U.S. Air Force.
And salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shake your hands.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Diane Adams. Alderman Eugene Christian. Alderman Margaret Christian.
Present.
Alderman Wanda Davidson. Alderman Jennifer Williams.
Present.
Vice Mayor Carl Wolf.
Present.
Mayor Chris Jackson.
Present. I'd like to welcome everyone. Thank y'all for coming to our meeting tonight. We'll move right on along. Do I have a motion for approval and or correction of the minutes of the special call board Mayor and Alderman meeting dated March the 23rd, 2018, and the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting dated March 27th, 2018.
Mr.
And
Mayor.
committee and departmental reports.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Going back to March 23rd, if the board would go back to those minutes where we had the special call meeting to attempt to do an evaluation on our city manager. These minutes are very, very vague. I think we need to go back and check on the recording of this and make sure that we are listing what our alderman has said in those comments. So I would like to postpone that till next time, till that can be corrected, and that the aldermen have a chance to look at that before we vote on that again, sir.
Okay, I have a motion to postpone. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, visitors' comments. All persons wishing to address the board shall stand, state your name and address, and shall be limited to a 3-minute presentation. The board may not participate in any discussion and cannot vote on any subject that you present. Absent an emergency, the earliest time that the board might discuss and vote on your matter will be at the next board meeting. Individuals and/or group representatives who have placed an item on tonight's agenda will be allowed to make a brief comment when the agenda item is up for discussion. At this time, anyone that wishes to speak can stand up, state your name, address, and speak. Yes, sir.
Bill Greasy, Rocky Hill Lane, Kingsport, Tennessee. I'm very disappointed in Mount Carmel. I'm running for the office of constable. From the Mount Carmel City to this end, Ryan Christian and Kevin that's running against me have pulled my signs up. I have Kevin on video. I have 2 people going to witness that saw Ryan pulling up my signs. People, I'm telling you, this place is corrupt. Ryan won because his last name's Christian. I'm telling you people, you can't trust them. They'll steal your signs. All of them are gone. And I have witnesses and video, so heed it, people. Thank you. Chris?
Yes, I'm not employed at 176 of Belfast College. I want to say a big thank you to Jason and his crew for striping Hammond Avenue, which is a very dangerous road we have, and doing some work down there in the Grandview. We had some pavement really for the dump trucks and the Kingsport City trash truck where the road was coming up real bad. And I witnessed a child wreck his bicycle because it's so high up. He fixed that about 2 weeks ago. You can't get a better crew of Jason. They do what little women's work they can do and what money they got. They do an outstanding job. I just want to throw a big art plus and a big thank you all for doing that.
My name is Carol Hurd, and I live at 949 Hammond Avenue. I'm speaking in response to the comments made by the mayor at the last couple of meetings about caring for his employees. My husband is the operator of the wastewater treatment plant. He and his fellow employees work in dangerous materials daily and are on call for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The only employees that are cared about here are the 2 that they've always focused on. The ones that do their job duties that they were hired to do and that are paid by the taxpayers are not. There's only one person on this board that does here. The employees of Mount Carmel do not work for the BMA. They work for the citizens who are taxpayers, except for wastewater, who are paid by the sewer plant. I also am a former employee, so I have seen what goes on in place. Thank God I got out. You need to remember that all the employees work for the citizens, not you. I have lived in this town for 44 years, and it is a disgrace.
Amen.
My name is Denise Livesey. I live at 580 Old Hickory Drive, Mount Carmel. And Chris, I'd like to address this to you. Everyone knows that you had Diane Adams' resignation letter the day of the meeting last month on the 27th. In light of all the allegations of corruption and lying at the last meeting, I'd like to know why you did not share this letter with us and its contents, being that you knew about it. Her letter of resignation certainly seems to support what everyone believes has been going on in this town. And how in the world do you expect any of us to believe what you're saying to us citizens, or anything else that you say? And why is it that you're trying to run off Michael in such short time without giving him a fair chance? And why do you think we should let you run our town? Now I know you're going to try to hide behind the attorney and say that you don't answer questions, but that has been proven wrong. And you guys are planning on firing the city manager, we all feel, or we would not be here to support him. But I think that we deserve some answers before you do. We've asked 3 times, or this will be the 3rd time. What did he do to deserve the disciplinary action that you all have set forth and have accused him of on the 23rd during that meeting? And Diane's letter was brought forth to you before 10 o'clock, because I was told before 10 o'clock that morning, around 10, I will say between 10 and 11 that morning. You had it in your possession on the 27th before the night of the meeting. It was not brought forth during the meeting. You knew about it. Why were we not talking? You all know, and as a citizens, we should have been, told. We knew about it. Well, why are you not being fair to us? All this could go away. Yeah, it could. If certain things happen. But if we're going to be a town and we all want this to stop, then we're going to have to be honest with each other. And that's not happening. And on your visitors' comments, it says not address, not comment. You can go back and look at several minutes. And I know a lot of people in here will testify. You all have made comments. You have addressed questions. It just pick and choose on who you want to do that to. Treat us all fair. That's all this town wants. We want out of the slum. We want out of the newspaper. We want out of the media. Give us some respect. Treat us the way we deserve. Treat us the way we voted you all in here. I'm not saying I voted for you because I didn't, but give us some respect. That's all this town wants.
Thanks.
I have something. Tonight, is anybody going to read Diane's resignation letter? Anybody, any of you all going to read it?
They're not going to address it. Go ahead. You got 30 minutes.
All right, I want to turn to you all, and I want to read this resignation. And it's a shame that this town has really got into the mess it is up here. Thank you for what you said last week or last month about what y'all's job is. So thank you very much. Now on this agenda, she said, on this resignation, she says, I find it impossible to continue a support decision to be made by this board. There's a hidden agenda since 2016 election to reconstruct the city government, to which she's been deprived of that. I have obviously been excluded from conversations among these board members regarding changes in policies. The recent emotional outcry has threatened me. She feels threatened. I will not and will not support any changes to our structure, nor will I continue to advocate for this board when they have obviously been decisions made to which I was not a part of. Now, this is a board member, mind you. I have been lied to, and my trust has been betrayed. There were people that have clued me in on nothing really going on, but they choose not to. They could have clued her in what was going on. For all the above reasons, I cannot remain a member of the Mount Carmel Board and Aldermen. This saddens me, and for our town and myself, and this saddens me that somebody cannot trust another person again. That's saddening. Now, and I got this for her, and I've got mine right here. In the meeting of 11/22/16, the board appointed Diane, and Chris yourself said that she was appointed this alderman position because she got the most votes. That satisfies us. Now you have a man that you've already picked out to take the place of Diane without even bringing it before anybody. Diane right there had the next votes. And so if you're going by your rules that you set, right there is supposed to be the next alderman. this week when y'all discussed it. You've got to have discussed it somewhere. You violated the sunshine law, but that's nothing new to you all for violating the sunshine law.
Always.
Amen. And so I'm telling you, and anybody in here that would like to see this woman right here go into possession of Aldermen, stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up. The people have
Do we have
voted for
any
her.
other
Wait a minute,
comments?
I'm not done.
I'm sorry.
The
your 3
people
minutes is up.
the people have voted for her.
Okay.
So,
Do I have any other comments? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Rhonda Booker. I live at 16 South Sherbrooke Circle, and if any of y'all have been here long enough to watch any of these meetings, there's inner workings, there's no protocol, there's nobody to answer to. What you all don't understand, you work for us.
Absolutely.
You work for us. We elected you. But somewhere in point, none of our, it doesn't matter. You've got somebody over here that's wanting to work hard, but you're wanting to get rid of it. Can you explain to anybody, the ones that voted you in, why? Do we have any explanation? Will we have any? Because we know a lot of people sitting up here, nobody's perfect, have done a lot worse than what this gentleman's done.
Do we have any other comments?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
James Roten, 144 Middle Springs Lane, Mount Carmel, Tennessee. It's me, it's old James E, by the way. I would like to ask Chris a question, and I know you ain't gonna answer me, because just like they say, you never answer anything. We can bring up anything that we want to bring up. You personally, how can you feel like standing up tall and being our mayor when you've done things that you know were wrong, you've been caught in it, you're crook, okay? So that's my honest opinion, okay? Everybody's got an opinion, right? So, just like they said, this is the most dishonest bunch of people right here on this board that I have ever seen and dealt with in my entire life.
The board member called it herself.
I mean, it's just the way it is. Why can't we all get along? Why can't you all do what we like things done at some point in time, instead of beating around the bush, meeting together secretly? I mean, people know this, but you can't get them to come out and speak up. You know what I'm saying? So, the bottom line is, we're the one that put you folks in here. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't vote for any of you. Right, except that one right there. That's exactly right. Right there is the one I'd vote for. I mean, man, this town is getting such a bad reputation. People won't even talk to you about moving into Mount Carmel now. So, why be so crooked and not work for us instead of against us and doing things behind people's back? You know it, Chris, as well as I do. When are you going to have to go to court in Tennessee on county embezzlement in West Virginia? Are you going to be our mayor until then, or to put you in jail, or whatever? I just like to know how much longer you going to be mayor. Okay? I reckon Mike gave.
What's the rules at? You've not got any rules.
Ma'am, have a seat.
You have not got any rules. There's another down play for you.
I'm Janice Dean, 511 Coronation Lane, Mount Carmel. And I want to make a comment about the letters to this group of people who gave to the board. We have an elected board, mayor and aldermen, that's elected to the people of Mount Carmel. And I know some of this group ran for mayor and aldermen themselves, but they didn't get the votes to be up here. And so that means that they can't make decisions of who works for the town. And they especially can't remove a mayor that's elected by the people from the board. Some of the accusations that they're making might apply to them and their families. the people of Mount Carmel that voted for this board intended for the board to take responsibility for governing the town. That's what you said you was gonna do when you asked for a vote. The budget presented to you by the city manager is thousands of dollars in the red. You need to get the budget back under your control. The fact that the city manager is offering severance packages for employees to leave early is a problem. Even the salary, benefits, and travel for the city manager, or a full-time city manager, is a problem for a budget that is $800,000 in the deficit. There are repairs needed to a building that we have that's been reported but not taken care of. This could be a dangerous thing if it's not fixed. And there is a problem with the police department that the Board of Mayor and Aldermen need to take control of. It seems everyone in town has their idea of how the police department ought to be run. At one time, Mount Carmel had an award-winning police department until the outside people got involved. It might be time to put the department heads back in place to run their departments, to report to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. I have confidence in this board that you can take control again and get this town back in shape.
Okay, do I have any other comments?
I've got three. Carl Lawson, 441 Mimosa Street. I wonder sometimes how long it takes after somebody asks a question, how long it takes to get an answer. I've never got but one, and it took 3 days to get that, and that was from a former administrator and the city attorney. Another. Why do you hire somebody outside of the town to run the town to tell us what to do? If you're going to hire them, let them do like Kingsport, I believe, does. Let them move into our town, pay taxes like we do.
Well, your mayor don't even pay taxes.
I didn't hear that.
I said, your mayor don't even pay taxes. He don't own a, or he don't own nothing.
And nothing. You know, I have made statements in here that I've been associated with various law enforcement for since I was 13 years old. And OSHA is one of them. And these two trailers sitting over here at Public Works, I take it on myself to look at them occasionally because I'm a fanatic on recycling. And they will not pass OSHA inspection. If you're pulling one up the highway, you have an accident, this city is liable. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Any other comments? Okay, moving on. Ordinance number 18-468. This is an ordinance to change the day of regular meetings of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion by Vice Mayor Carl Wolf. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
I have a second. Roll call.
Alderman Margaret Christian,
I'm gonna sustain.
Alderman Jennifer Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Carl Wolf,
Yes.
Mayor Chris Jones.
Yes. New business, resolution number 18-567. This is a resolution of the Town of Mount Carmel Board of Mayor and Aldermen to accept the resignation of Alderman E. Diane Adams and declaring an aldermanic vacancy of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I would
ma'am.
like to address the board here on this. I would like to make a motion to accept the resolution number 18-567 for only her resignation. I don't know, with the letter that she wrote, I have no idea what she is talking about. So with that being said, I will make the motion for 18-567 to accept her resignation and her resignation only, and I want that in the minutes, please. And I am declaring also in that motion vacancy for the Board of Mayor and Aldermen.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Have a second by Vice Mayor Wolf. Okay, it's a resolution. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, resolution number 18-568. This is a resolution of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the Town of Mount Carmel, Tennessee, appointing Garrett White to fill the unexpired aldermanic term of B.E. Diane Adams. It is the mayor's prerogative to appoint this position. I received a letter from Mr. Garrett White. And also going on what MTAS recommends, they asked that we pull somebody from a standing board that we have. This is the chairman of our planning commission. I understand that, and this was a letter that Mr. White wrote me. It says, I understand that Diane Adams has resigned as alderman for Mount Carmel. I would like to consider to fill the remaining of her term in office. Since I don't know some of you personally, I would like to list some of the reasons I think I would do a good job as the alderman for Mount Carmel. I graduated Bureau College in Kentucky with a major in mathematics and a minor in physics. I then entered the United States Air Force, going through the Air Force Officers Training School. I served as a captain in the Air Force, assigned to the Strategic Air Command as a crew member of a B-52 bomber. I completed one tour of duty in Southeast Asia and flew 30 plus combat missions over North and South Vietnam. After discharge, I worked 10 years at AFG Industries in the research department. When TVA started the Fifth Bend nuclear plant, I moved there and ended up as a construction superintendent, helping close down the site. I continued working in construction as a construction superintendent and later as construction manager on several projects. I have been a member of the Mount Carmel Planning Commission for several years, and presently I am chairman of the Planning Commission. I'm a member of the Hawkins County Planning Commission. I'm very active in church work. Having served several years as chairman of the Church Leadership Committee, I am presently chairman of the trustees, treasurers of Crusades Group, coordinator for the Fellowship Sunday School classes, and on the Finance Committee. I think my mic just died. Okay, can you still hear me? I am interested in Mount Carmel, having been to most of the recent meetings of the DMA when I didn't have a scheduling conflict and have a desire to see our city continue to grow. Thank you for consideration of my request. Should you have any questions, I can be reached. His information will be available down at City Hall should he be appointed alderman. At this time, I'll take a motion on resolution number 18-568, which is appointing Mr. Garrett White to fill the unexpired term. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I have a motion on I would like to make the motion on resolution number 18-568 to go ahead and let Mr. Garrett White fill that seat.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
You got it.
I have a second by Vice Mayor Wolf. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Do we have anyone opposed? No opposed. Ms. Sandage, you are our notary of public. Can you come up and swear?
Actually, I actually just looked this up. You have to swear in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a correction. Mr. Garrett White, please step forward, please. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Garrett White,
I, Garrett White,
having been duly appointed as alderman of the town of Mount Carmel,
having been duly appointed as alderman of the town of Mount Carmel,
Hawkins County, Tennessee,
Hawkins County, Tennessee,
do hereby solemnly swear
that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the state of Tennessee,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and that all my official acts
and all my official acts
and doing shall be directed toward
and doings shall be directed toward
the betterment and the general welfare of the community.
the betterment and the general welfare of the community.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you, sir. There you go.
Okay, resolution number 18-569. This is a resolution pursuant to Mount Carmel Municipal Code 1-402. This is authorizing the mayor to enter into State of Tennessee Department of Transportation contract for the maintenance of state highways through the town of Mount Carmel, Tennessee. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make that motion on resolution
I have a motion.
18-569.
Do I have a second?
I second.
And I have a second. Any discussion? This is basically so that we receive money for mowing the highway. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, set a budget workshop.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
could we look at possibly May the 10th, if the board could, is open for that date, perhaps?
May 10th, what they say.
The 10th, it's on a Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know if it matters, but that's the same date as the ribbon cutting for the,
No, yeah, well, that's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
just want to make sure.
Thank you, John.
No problem.
What time are you talking about?
What, in the afternoon, what do we normally do? What's in the afternoon, say 5:30, 6, whatever's good for the
We'll
board?
shoot about 6. That's Wednesday.
It's Thursday.
Thursday. That's Saturday. I'll be here about 6.
So you want to tell the board that?
Yeah, fine with me.
What'd you say?
Go ahead.
Oh, 6
Carl's
o'clock.
making a motion for May the 10th at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a second. Any discussion? May 10th at 6 o'clock. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Presentation and adoption of the monthly financial report.
Can everybody hear me okay? This is the cash on hand report for the town of Mount Carmel. This is as of March 31st of this year. In the general account, general fund stands at $3,265,383.67. The police drug reserve fund stands at $12,482.24. The restricted street aid stands at $383,101.20. The restricted telecommunications account stands at $1,154.95. The required fund balance is $1,061,149.09. That is 3 months of operations plus $550,000 to make it to the next year. The assigned fund balance is $785,194. Assigned fund balance stands at $1,022,302.19. The restricted savings accounts for capital outlay general fund $368,160.30. The emergency fund general is $8,709.06. Sewer account stands at $899,448.60. Depreciation fund as of June 30th of last year stands at $231,214. The assigned fiscal year 18 budget is $15,888. Unassigned fund balance for the sewer account is $652. $652,346.60. Again, that is $652,346.60. Restricted savings account, sewer savings stands at $285,304.13. Capital outlay sewer, $226,733.65. Bond reserve stands at $25,566.25.
Do I have a motion from anyone wanting to accept that?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discuss board involvement in police chief hiring.
Mr. May,
Christian, you had the floor.
yes, I did. I sponsored this. Let's see if, can everyone hear me? No? Okay. Since the board, it is on, it says it's on.
Check the volume on the back of that. Can y'all hear mine?
Is that
okay?
better? Is that better? Okay. Since the board is the city manager's supervisor and he answers to the BMA, I am respectfully requesting that the BMA be a part of the interviewing process for the new chief of police and let the BMA vote on whom they feel is a better fit for our citizens. Order, please. Point of order. It is important that our citizens feel safe, and as their elected officials, it is our job to maintain this. The basic requirements of a point of order. What? Basic requirements for a chief of police is the same from pretty much generally from municipality to municipality. However, one size does not fit all. Our police chief is public service director and is in charge of our animal control, etc. He wears many different hats in our community. This is the highest position in law enforcement in our town of Mount Carmel. This board knows our town and is elected, and we know our citizens as well. It is very important that to our well-being, safety, and security in our city that we hire a chief that will be fitting well to our community or to fit well with our community. Thank you for your consideration.
I would like to address this, Maggie. Can y'all hear me? No. We passed an ordinance, 17-463.
We did.
Okay. In that ordinance, we gave the power to hire and fire.
I'm well
to
aware
the
of
city
that.
administrator.
I'm well aware of that.
Yes. Take that back.
No.
Just because we want to.
No.
Without an ordinance or something.
I realize that also, Alderman
Okay.
Williams. I realize all those things.
Okay. Then, to me,
I just told you why.
I understand why.
I just told you why.
But if you're concerned about the employees, to me, keeping politics out of hiring and firing of employees.
I will address this to you, Mrs. Williams. Are you comfortable with someone in the town, and no disrespect intended, Michael, are you comfortable letting a person that does not know our citizens to go ahead and get someone in here and and it doesn't fit? Are you comfortable with that?
He grew up here.
I'm comfortable with following what we passed. We
passed
all of us voted yes. to this.
We did.
Twice.
And as I said, I'm asking respectfully to make an exception. That is my priority to do so as one of your aldermen. And you also, I respect your opinion as well, Alderman.
I respect your opinion. I'm just saying.
I see what, I know what you're saying.
I'm saying you have to follow what I feel that the board has to follow what they
Well,
set
it
forth.
is a board decision.
Yes.
So we'll go with that. Thank you for your time.
And if I may interject, as mentioned previously, you would have to pass an ordinance. We would have to pass an ordinance to take any power away from the city administrator. So that would require 2 readings, and we'd also have to come up with the language for that ordinance. So, I mean, it would be necessary to determine what sort of carve out the board wants. The way the statutes are organized, I don't think the board could just take one department head piecemeal and conduct hiring, firing, break it up like that. I think it would have to be, if the board were to take action subject to what you discussed, they would have to take back the personnel decisions for all department heads, or all hiring and firing decisions in total. I mean, I'm not very keen on the ability for the board to just pick and choose who they hire.
I wanted to bring it up.
But that being said, the board, before this discussion is over with, is going to have to determine if they want to take action and exactly what that's going to look like. Because as I understand, police chief's only around for 2 more months, and so you have to have 2 readings to pass something of this, because this powers were created by ordinance. It would require an ordinance to change those. So you don't have time. You don't have a lot of time. So if this action doesn't want to be taken, you'd have to have an ordinance ready to go tonight, the wording, so that we can have it for the next meeting, so that it could pass the first reading at the next meeting. So that's the kind of the protocol.
Thank you, John.
The soonest that could pass would probably be end of July.
Yeah. Unless the board calls a special call meeting. I mean, I know we've done that in the past things, but it's not the best procedure to try and work in additional meetings because it costs money. When we've been in a bind, we've done that before, but I don't advocate for special call meetings just for small, for one decision. It doesn't make a ton of sense. So that's all right. So.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, no further discussion. Discuss city administrator employment. I have sat up here, I have listened to comments about how this board communicates. I have sat back and watched this board become a great board. We were working great together. We were working great with the community together. It is a city manager's job to work with its board members, to work with its mayor. I have been presented a budget that is roughly $800,000 plus in the red before we even start cutting on. That's with no projects included in on that. Am I correct?
I did the budget.
You did the budget.
I did the budget.
It is his responsibility.
He's working with me on the budget. Y'all need to stop blaming him for all the problems we have.
I would like to say that. I mean, how can he be responsible for the debt?
I've got the floor right now.
Okay.
Especially when you fired Eddie Seagull for $20,000 more.
Can you step out, please? Since you can't be quiet. I've got the
I
floor.
didn't have a warning.
Please step out.
I guess I'm gonna step out too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jennifer, Honey, I feel sorry
and
for
then
you.
$20,000 more dollars goes to your
You act-
friend,
I think you're-
Carl's girlfriend. Good job, 20,000, when it goes on you.
All right, like I said, we've got a lot of cutting to do. I'm not sure that this town is ready for a city administrator.
Yes,
If you're gonna speak, just go ahead and step
No,
out.
but let's pay 20 more thousand to his girlfriend. He steals from his grandmother, but we're not ready for a city administrator. How dare you? You don't even have an arm. I'll post
You're a disgrace. A disgrace.
Your video's going on Facebook, Chris. You'll be seeing a lot.
This has come up in the last two meetings. I'm not happy with the city administrator we have right now. And I am making a motion that we eliminate Michael Houseright as our city administrator. And do I have a second?
I think we need to have some more discussion about this.
Well, if we get a second. If we have a second, we'll have more discussion.
Okay, I'll make the second motion and to open it up for discussion.
I've got a second. Okay.
Okay, what I'd like to say is, I don't understand how you can blame him for a budget that he did not create, that he walked into, and for debt that we incurred ourselves as a city before he was ever hired.
Yes, that's right.
Can you explain that to me, how you can say he's responsible for that?
Well, I know that right now, our fire chiefs, I don't like discussing salaries. Is our fire chief here? He is not here. I know he got a substantial pay raise. It's one that the budget really couldn't handle right now. The board has no control of that. That's his decision alone. But, I mean, more dollars on there than we give him.
It's still cheaper than what we were budgeting last year for a full-time chief.
We didn't go with full-time.
But we
This
budgeted
is
for
a
a full-time
part-time
chief.
position.
We budgeted last year for a full-time chief. It's less than that.
But we could have got the man a lot cheaper. And it went over $20 an hour
But look at what all he's
for a
done.
part-time position. I'm not saying he don't deserve it. I'm saying right now we have to live within our means. In order for this town to keep operating, we cannot keep adding on additional expenses.
Well, why pay $20,000 more on animal control than when you had one
You are out of order.
full-time?
Please step out.
I will. Can't do it, can you, honey? You thief. You're low down. Remember who my son is. You remember who my son is? And he's got drugs from
Step
you.
out, please.
He's bought drugs from him. Yeah. I'll wait. Get this.
I'll ask you to leave one more time
I am out.
outside the building.
I am out. I'll be back in and explain to you all what he's done about not having no right to drive the fire truck. He doesn't have a steer. He don't have a
We've had nothing but turmoil since we have hired a city manager, and I don't know why. We have.
I can tell you why. Because you want him out.
Yes.
That's right.
I did not want the city manager out.
Then
I did not want, and I'll explain this, and John Peavy can back me up. If this does go through, the first order of action is to advertise for a new city administrator. It is not for me to take power. It is not for me to have control. It is not for me to appoint that man standing right there as city administrator. It is not for me to let him appoint me as public safety director. It's not for me to appoint all these positions that I keep hearing that's going to get appointed. It's not for me to fire Jim Hurd because I think he's the best plant operator, because every time I meet with MTAS about the sewer plant, says he's a good operator.
you brought my name into it, did you not ask them all and how you about firing me?
No, I did not.
Did you call Wolf?
If I ever asked you, I've asked you to do your job. That's all.
Did you ask Carl Wolf about it?
About firing you?
Yes, because you didn't like me.
I don't hate you, Jim, and who keeps telling you I hate you is wrong. I have never said I would fire anybody in this town. All I have said is people in this town need to do their jobs. And if that's a problem that me and you have right now.
Did you talk to my counsel about it?
About firing you?
Yes.
No.
Did you talk to Carl Wolf about it?
No.
Did you, Carl?
I ain't got no comment.
I asked you to do your job. I have asked you to do your job. You have one of the most biggest expenses this town has as far as debt. And we have to keep it going. We have no choice. That sewer plant has to stay running for several years to come. I know you're short-handed. I know you've got problems. And a lot of safety things you brought up to our sewer department. And I know when Gary Lawson was city administrator, me and him both sat down there and said, if you need help, don't put no one in harm's way, ask for the extra help. And we will get you some extra help. Now, I've heard it. I've heard how I want to have the power. I don't want to have the power. I don't like being down here at City Hall. I've got work to do. I don't have time to be down here. But we need a city administrator that's going to work with me and that's going to work with the rest of this board of mayor and aldermen. I need someone to come to us with ideas on how to trim off $800,000, not present it $800,000. As far as I'm concerned, let's look at last year's budget.
Mayor. $500,000 last year for us.
And we added the position that we didn't need, this town don't need to afford. The citizens elected me to look after and say, hey, we're spending too much money, and we are, and I think that's one position that we can cut. That's my motion. Anyone else want to discuss?
Well, first of all, Michael, did you have a comment that you wanted to address this board with?
Well, before action statement, I do have a statement that I'd like to share with the board, but I'll let the board discussion continue. I will say that I presented several ideas at our last budget session about ways that we can provide services more efficiently.
Yes, he did.
You're right, I was not there. I read what was left.
I have a comment here. Now, number one, on March the 23rd.
Can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. On March the 23rd, we attempted to have an evaluation for Mr. Housewright. It was so disruptive, we were unable to do so. It seems to me that there is a certain little group here that wishes to have their way, even though they weren't elected to these positions. The board has taken on the task to do what is best for this town, for a whole, not just a few chosen people. It has been a constant uproar since Mr. Housewright has taken office and taken the helm as of December the 20th. I'm very disappointed. I was hoping and praying that we could help him with our help to move forward with this town. It does not look to me like we're ever going to be able to achieve that. So with that being said, I'm going to second the motion that he will be dismissed immediately, tonight.
Is that, you're saying because he didn't listen to you and move forward?
That is
like
not
that?
what I said. It was not what I said. It was not what I said. I said we attempted to have an evaluation on him and was unable to do so because of a chosen group here. And this is not acceptable. So how can you, Jennifer, or Alderman Williams, how can you move forward when you can't even have a chance to even discuss anything with him for all of these hacklers here? Answer that for me.
Y'all won't listen to us.
But Maggie, I don't think the board has given him a chance.
Well,
I think we still have a problem on this board of people wanting control. And wanting to say what goes and what doesn't go. And I think we have not given him a chance. We are blaming him for things that he did not cause.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
I think that I have given him more of a chance. I think I've even sat down between me, him, Tass, and everybody else, trying to get things working together, trying to get him to work more with the board, and try to go in the direction of the town. But this, I'm calling question. Roll call, please.
Mayor, I would like to make a statement.
I just called question.
You can't.
I believe that I should be entitled.
Go ahead.
He should be able to defend himself.
Go ahead.
First of all, in regards to the budget, it is the board's responsibility to determine the level of service that is provided. The current budget is based on the current level of services that are provided. I will be happy to have engaged the board with those discussions. In regards to an allegation that I should be terminated because the board was unable to do an evaluation, I failed to see how that is my fault. Regardless, I did prepare a statement. I had no idea what to expect tonight, so I will read it. Apologies for reading it, everyone. Just a few short months ago, I eagerly accepted a position here as city manager, while virtually all others in my profession would choose not to come here because of the reputation that this town has and its controversial history. That is precisely why I did. I came here because I was not intimidated by Mount Carmel's history. I came here because I grew up here, because I care about this community, and because I want to be a part of building something better here. I sacrificed in coming here. I sacrificed because of my love for this community. I took a $6,000 cut to my benefits to come here. Looking at the hours that I work, I'm about 6th or 7th from the top in terms of compensation here. I came here without ever asking for any form of severance, any form of safety net. I am terminated tonight. I go home tomorrow. I try to figure out how to pay my bills. All of this is completely unheard of in my profession. But I came here because I want to be here. I grew up spending my weekends right over the hill. I came here because I believed that this board wanted to build something, and I believed that I could help this board build something. Now, the latest assertion, as far as I can tell, is I'm not doing my job, things are not being addressed, and I'm not working with the board. I will say that over the past few weeks, I have had to step back. Other projects have taken a back seat, but I've had to step back because of the budget. I had to look at operations. I had to find efficiency. I had to find a better way of doing what we've been doing, because as you've seen, the numbers aren't adding up. A couple of years ago was the first time that expenses surpassed income. We're still headed in that direction. I've been looking at those things. I've been examining. That's what I've been spending my time doing. Now, in learning that, I found a lot. I've made a lot of recommendations. I'll be happy to share some of those. And in doing so, we're going to touch on a subject that kind of the elephant in the room. I think it's time that everybody knows exactly what happened and how it unfolded. Probably the most controversial thing that I've done in my tenure here. Probably the only controversial thing that I've done here is to remove Officer Copas from the interim chief position. Since that time, I have consistently been accused of playing politics and listening to the wrong people. I have maintained that my reasons for the personnel change were numerous, and I have done my best to keep personnel matters off this board level, out from in front of the press, and keep controversy off the board level. I've done everything that I can do to do that at risk of this job, but I feel that it's time to address that. We presently have policies on the books that, while well-meaning, are bad policies. One of those policies is the sick time accrual that we have and the vacation buyback. And looking at that, what I found is that that these policies encourage poor attendance. They give the biggest reward to the worst performing of our staff. Looking at that, the most egregious and deliberate misuse of this policy so far has been Mr. Copas. While the average sick time per year per employee is 1.5 weeks, 7 days, just over 7 days, Mr. Copas misses over 2 months a year.
Wow.
The average payout over the last 6 years for sick time is $5,600. Mr. Copas has received around $40,000. All while doing this, he has been allowed to sell his vacation back to the town. He misses approximately 30 days a year. This is an officer. These are 12-hour shifts, so we're talking about 2 months, 14-day months. Takes 3 days of vacation, 3 or 4 days of vacation a year, and sells the rest back to the town. That bumps his pay up a couple more $1,000. Frankly, I have never seen an employee with this kind of record retain their job, much less be promoted through the ranks, ever go from about a $12.50 pay rate during that time to over $20. This is only one example of my justifications for making the change that I've made. And this is a change that continually threatens my job. This is the 4th consecutive meeting that I have walked into this room and expected to face down a move to terminate my position. And I've had ample reason for that expectation. In early March, I was called to a meeting with Pat Hardy and Mayor Chris Jones. He just referred to that. I was told at that time that the mayor had stopped a vote to terminate my position in February, and that he was currently refusing to call a meeting to terminate me. He told me that I only had one supporter on this board. He told me that the only way to save my job was to reinstate George Copas as chief of police. On March 15th, Mayor Jones came into our office, it's a shared office, closed the door, and asked me what I intended to do. I told him that I gave the matter considerable thought, and I determined that it was in the best interest of the city not to reinstate Mr. Copas as chief of police. Within hours of that, a call meeting was held, or a meeting was called in order to do my 90-day evaluation. I had ample reason to believe that I would be fired. Since I've been here, I've been lied to and I've been lied about before I ever walked through the door. People have been told that I've been having secret meetings with former mayors. I've been accused of pre-selecting the next fire chief and police chiefs. People were told that I hated animals and I was going to close down the animal control department. People were told that I destroyed the town of Unicoi Police Department. The town of Unicoi has never had a police department. And it is not my fault. The very day that I spoke with this board about Mr. Copas, and I told him the actions that he had taken in regards to his staff, that very day, the mayor started calling aldermen and undermining what I had said and telling everybody that I was giving everybody a different story. The day that I told the mayor that I would not reinstate Mr. Copas as chief of police, he made a phone call to our attorney, John Peavy, to find out how the board could discipline me. He was informed that the only way that I could be disciplined by this board was insubordination. Within hours of that, he started calling around and telling board members that I had been insubordinate. He actually used the same word that the attorney used to him. He told them that I raised his voice to him, and I told him that I did not have to do what he told me to do. This is flat out false. I have never raised my voice to anyone in this town. I would never say, I don't have to do what you tell me to do. I don't care if that's regardless of whether I work for somebody or whether they work for me. I would not say that. He has done everything in his power. He has leveraged every angle to remove me from this position, even to the point of calling the Town of Unicoi Board of Mayor and Aldermen last month to see what he could dig up on me. Last month. This is 4 months after I took this position. He decided to call my former board. I have no idea what you all intend to do in regards to my job. I have stared at this agenda for days now with absolutely no communication from the mayor as to what is to be considered here tonight. I've had no way to prepare. I've had no way to know what issues I would be addressed or accused of. Certainly I've been accused a lot in my short time here. If the board wishes to terminate me tonight, considering that I left a secure job just a few months ago with full benefits and fully paid insurance, I would respectfully request that the board compensate me with 6 months severance. If you should choose to keep me, I will assure to you that I will do my job to the best of my abilities until my final day here. And I will assure you that the best interest of the city will always be my primary consideration in my every decision. And that I will be prepared to stand accountable for every decision that I make and every action I take. And I will be honest, regardless of consequence. I also request that if you should allow me to continue on in this position, that the board give me the trust and the latitude that a city manager must have in order to successfully manage the city, to find fiscal efficiency, and to aid in restoring the confidence and pride of this community. Thank
Since you have brought me up, Mr. Housewright, I have been over backwards to prevent us getting to this position that we're in right now. I have tried to cushion blows here, there, and every which way. But me reaching out and speaking to your former commissioners or whatever, I think I spoke to numbers. And besides the previous mayor, I'm speaking. I asked you to step out already,
No,
ma'am.
you didn't. I got up on my own.
Okay,
I got
I'm
up
asking you.
on my own. That's
step out,
another
please.
lie.
Step out.
Mayor, did you stop a vote on my position in February?
Yes, I probably did.
You probably did.
The meeting wasn't called, I believe. There was no meeting called. Was there not?
No, you said, you told me that you stopped a vote at the February BMA meeting.
I don't think you was on the agenda at the BMA meeting in February, was you?
You told me point blank that you stopped a vote.
Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. And one reason why I'm not happy with you is the very things you just said here and done. You took an employee, 20-some years, and talked about personnel issues with just that one employee. Just that one employee. You know, if it's his right to buy back his vacation, he has that right to buy back, sell, whatever on his vacation. I'm not sure what that policy is.
No one
Now, I
has
know
a
the
right.
insurance is, or the sick time that they acquire goes to their retirement. Goes towards their retirement. I don't think they get paid for their sick time unless they take off sick.
Yes, and
Is that correct?
he consistently takes off 2 months a year sick.
Okay,
This
I
is
understand.
the issue by which you told me that I would lose my job if I did not
No,
reinstate.
I said it's how you went about it. No explanation, no excuses. You just come in and made a decision and moved the person back with no explanation, no
I
say
believe,
about
I
it or
believe
anything.
that I provided an explanation to each and every board member.
I did not get the explanation.
We've had numerous conversations about that, man.
Okay. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you about it. There is more to it than George Copas. There's a whole lot more to it. And if I can't work with you and other members of this board can't work with you, I don't see how you can continue to work here.
Mayor, you have lied about
Okay.
me over.
Call for a vote.
Lie. Alderman Margaret Christian.
Yes.
Alderman Jennifer Williams.
No.
Alderman Garrett White.
We want to abstain.
Alderman Carl Wolf, or Vice Mayor Carl Wolf.
No.
Mayor Chris Jones.
Yes.
Doesn't pass.
Now, with that being said, we have to move on. So you are still in the position. We have this budget workshop coming up May the 10th. You need to come up with the figures that we're gonna have to raise the taxes to meet your expected goals that we're gonna have now.
I want to be clear, the level of service is established by the board.
The level of service should not change anywhere this year than what we had last year.
We projected a $500,000 deficit last year.
Yes.
then we need to look and see what changes we made last year, and we might have to go back to, just like the volunteer fire department, we might have to go back all volunteer.
Well, good luck. You ain't gonna get nobody to respond.
Might be, but that's what I was trying to prevent.
Back on you.
I have received numerous phone calls. That's the reason this was on the agenda tonight. The decision's been made by the board. The citizens elect these people up here. We've made what decisions we made. We'll continue working with Michael. Hopefully Michael will start being more informative to us.
Good.
And we'll go from there. Do you have any comments? Okay. You got anything, Jennifer?
I have none.
Mr. Wolf?
I would just like to say that any decisions that I make, I hope will be for the good of the town. And that is my intentions, and that's the way I'm going to look at it. Thank you.
The board is going to ruin your reputation. Hey, Chris, can I say something before we get out of here?
Ms. Christian, you got anything?
I do. Did Carl not have anything?
I'll get
Oh, yes, I've got several things. First of all, I want to hand these out to everyone here. If you'll just pass those down, and to the city manager as well. And thank you, Michael, for letting me announce this. I do appreciate that, sir. I wanted to let the board know and the audience that our regional, our library has gone to a regional library, and that is effective on July 1 of this year. The board has spent very long and countless hours in paperwork to make this a reality. The board committee wishes to thank the BMA, as well as John Peavy, our city attorney, and Marion Standage in helping us to become a reality. I know you all put, Marion, I know that you saw, sent in a lot of that paperwork, you and John, and we so appreciate that. So, with that being said, also, the library, as you all know, did the lending library, and we are going to have a ribbon cutting on May the 10th at 1 p.m. at the city park. The children in grades 3 and 4 and the A team donated over 300 books for our lending library, and we want to honor them and Kelly Campbell as well in appreciation for that on May the 1st or May the 10th at 1. If it rains, we will have that in Mount Carmel Gymnasium. Wanted to go ahead and invite you all. That was my job to tell you all about that and invite you all to that and the public as well. Also, I had a couple more things here. I had a request from a citizen, Mary Ann Markham Greer, that lives at 536 Walnut Street. She, on March 15th, had locked her keys in her vehicle and did not have a spare set. So she was frantic, and she called, I believe, our Chief Jackson. I believe Chief Jackson was out of town, and I believe he sent Detective Cody Bustle to assist her. She called me. She was so thankful and wanted me to recognize Cody Bustle, Detective, and Chief Jackson for coming to her aid. She appreciates all that you do and wants to thank you publicly. Also, I wanted to welcome our newest board member, Garrett White. I look forward to working with you. We are very blessed to have a man of your caliber that wishes to move this board and this town forward. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
First, I want to welcome Garrett. Mr. White serves on the Planning Commission, and I have the pleasure of attending a number of those meetings. And I have to say, when I saw the agenda and noticed that he was going to be potentially appointed, I'm sad less people are here, that I was very pleased, because at every meeting that I've been to for the Planning Commission, Garrett White has always seemed to be someone that is extremely reasonable, thoughtful and takes decisions based on the evidence that he's given. So I want to welcome you here. I appreciate you volunteering for this position. I also want to congratulate the library because being a member of the regional library system is a really good thing for the town. This is something very positive that I think a lot of people will benefit from, and I'm happy that we were able to make that happen. It's been a long time coming. I know we've been working on it for quite a while, and back and forth and working with the state can be difficult sometimes, and just making the wheels turn. But once we finally got everything and all our ducks in a row, I was very happy to sit down and see this tonight. Other than that, I don't believe that I have anything extremely pressing to say, and I appreciate everybody coming.
I do have a city manager report. I apologize to the board and mayor. I was under the impression that I was being asked if I had any more comments on the preceding agenda item.
You might speak up.
This is the city manager report. Just a couple things I would like to congratulate and welcome Mr. White as well. My experience with planning commission has been short, but I have seen him and been impressed by him. I think that he will be a strong addition to this board. In regards to what we've got going on and coming up, I would like to congratulate Maggie and Phil Holt, the library committee, and the library on the acceptance to that, to the regional library system. Would like to note that I've been contacted on a couple of occasions by Mr. Jim Gilliam. He requests that a stop sign be placed on Main Street, or on Hammond Avenue, coming towards Main Street as you approach Landon Drive. I told him that I would relay that desire to the board, and that's what I'm doing at this time. Personnel policy, next month we'll have first reading on repeal of that. John Grubbs, the HR consultant from InCast, will be here next month, and he'll be able to answer any questions, talk to you about the incoming personnel policy. Voting on first reading on repeal will be next month. Following month, June, we'll have the final reading, and then hopefully pass a new personnel policy in June by resolution format. We have received an update from Hope Ball with Redflex. Redflex has paid the engineering study invoice. We will be meeting, we plan to meet next week to finalize plans. Tentative schedule for construction on the red light camera is set to begin on May 14th, and the projected up and running date will be the end of May or beginning of June. On the siren installation, we received a quote or an estimate for the general 2-siren non-voice installation. This is the 2 sirens. It was approximately $81,000. That's much higher than we had projected or had expected. Therefore, we will likely be using existing equipment and probably replacing and updating some components of that, and we'll get those numbers. Fire department, Chief Simpson and Sandage are working on bid documents for equipment that will be needed in the coming year. They'll put together those bid documents once the fiscal year is passed. They will be bid out. We should have bids on all medical equipment beginning that year. Fire department management review for MTAS, that is scheduled for late June. There's been a hard time getting up with Mr. Cross at MTAS, but that is when he can come back around. Police department. Chief Jackson and I have discussed this, had an opportunity to look at it. Presently, we have an opportunity to purchase a display vehicle from Truckers Lighthouse. It is a 2014 Ford Expedition. It's got 77,000 miles. It is fully outfitted. It was ready to go. Basically what we would be looking at is putting the radio in it, a few small items to bring it up to speed. Purchase price on that would be $25,000. It is my recommendation that this board looks at bringing in a new police car, some kind of new police vehicle. Several years ago, the town purchased 5, I believe it is, new vehicles at the same time. The recommendation is the board or the town needs to get in a position where we're bringing new vehicles every year or two, and that way we're not replacing 5 vehicles at the same time. I've been in contact with TTAP, that is a technical pavement advisory service. Got that scheduled for the next couple of months. As they find themselves in this area, they will come around, they will evaluate all of our roads, our pavement conditions. They will catalog that, they will do an assessment. Once that assessment is complete, they will provide the city with a maintenance and resurfacing schedule that should aid in the upkeep of our roads and reduce overall maintenance costs. Sewer department, we are finalizing the RFQ that's request for qualifications for a long-range plan to find efficiencies in that part or in that operation and hopefully reduce overall operation costs of the sewer department. Additionally, we are looking at basin repairs. As you all know, we pursued a grant that was not successful. That grant, if we would have gotten it, would have negated our need to repair our current basins, and the state was kind of forgiving with us or patient with us while we pursued that grant. But now that we know that that grant's not coming through, we are going to have to look at repairing, or we are going to have to repair those basins. 2 basins, both need repairs. We're looking at a approximate cost of about $90,000 per basin. I'm working with Mr. Hurd on that. I think the general approach will be that we need to work on the first basin, give us an opportunity to see what that repair looks like, and then the second basin, as we observe those repairs, we may be able to do some things in-house and reduce the overall cost of repair of the second basin. But that is something that is coming down the pipe. It is also something that has to be done. It's something that will not have to be paid for out of the sewer operations money because it is considered a capital expenditure. And with that said, I will conclude my report.
I have a question for you, sir. On the TTAP, you were saying that they were going to be coming to do an assessment on our roads and streets.
Yes.
Is there a cost to that, sir?
There's absolutely no cost to
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Motion adjourned. Got a motion, got a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye?
Thank you.
Well, the good times are over, it seems like. Seems like the good times are over.